Recycling is the most efficient way of getting rid of old, unneeded, or used stuff, even though it poses many problems. These issues include high energy costs, inefficient sorting of materials, and also the inefficient disposal of the materials that can't be recycled. There are also large amounts of externalities, which, while they're not extremely dangerous to the citizens of the United States, they pose more problems for citizens in countries like China. Educating the public is a key pathway to improving our recycling system. With more knowledge comes more power to form a better society.
In the materials recovery facility is all the trash put down and stored until it is processed. The sorting process is started here and everything is sorted according to size. The recycling is put on a production line, which has holes in it, so the smaller pieces fall down the smaller holes to other production lines. The larger pieces keep on moving down the moving belt. The Davis Street Recycling Facility is a single-stream facility, which means that the people put all the recycling into one bin and it is transported to the facility all mixed together. This is different from the multiple-stream recycling, where all paper, plastic, aluminum, and glass are all put into separate bins. This method could be easier for the recycling center, but people are so bad at recycling that the facility rather sorts the materials itself because it is more cost-efficient.
When the sorting according to size is finished, the trash is put through production lines again. People stand at these production lines and sort out everything that is non-recyclable, which is mostly jeans and plastic bags. We should think about these people when we discard things, because their safety and health is partly our responsibility. While they work in a pretty safe environment, they can be hurt by needles that people discard in their recycling carelessly, and employers cannot protect them against HIV and hepatitis that can be transferred through these needles. In the past, mattresses meant a big problem to the environment because most recycling facilities refuse to take them in because they cost too much to take apart and recycle each individual part of the mattress. Recently, they have started to do so, but it's hard to recycle them, so they are shipped to China. In China, they are taken apart, and the wood, the metal, and the plastic are all separated and recycled. In the sorting facility, we saw these machines that sorted the recycling materials on moving belts. Once they went through the large main belt with the people manually sorting it, then it is mechanically separated onto smaller belts. Plastics are separated by their grade, so one plastics or two plastics are separated from each other and so on. Aluminum is separated from paper by an optic lens that uses a powerful fan to blow its wanted object off the one belt and onto a different one. In this picture, we see the damage that recycling plastic bags does to the machines in the facility. They get caught in the wheels that turn and let things fall through. When the plastic bags bunch up on the wheels, it makes the spaces for the items to fall through smaller, so sorting is not as accurate. The best way to recycle or reuse plastic bags is to return them to the store that you got them at. They are required to take them back even if they don't want them. At the end of the process in the recycling system, the sorted materials are packaged into huge 2-ton bricks. These bricks are only required to be 80% of their sorted recycling material, and they can be 20% of anything else. This proves to us how inefficient our recycling process actually is, if only 80% of the recycling product is necessary for it to be deemed a single product. Their bricks of recycled material are stored in an enormous warehouse, and they have ones that are solely of newspaper, ones of mixed paper, plastic bags, plastic bins, aluminum, plastic bottles, and a lot more. Most of what we saw was paper. It was incredible. There were mounds and mounds of paper bricks that went for hundreds of feet in this warehouse. In this picture, there are plastic bags that cannot be recycled, but they can be packaged into a huge 2-ton brick, so they take up less room. While they cannot be efficient through recycling because they can't be recycled, they can be efficient in their usage of space. In this picture, it's the same sort of brick, but it's filled with aluminum. However, it only needs to be 80% of aluminum, so if you look closely, you can see the plastic and paper that's mixed in with all the metal.
At the Davis Street Recycling Center, 100 of these possum-bellied trucks that carry 23 tons each are sent to the landfill of Altamont Pass. The Davis Street facility services 2 million people. That means each Bay Area citizen sends half a pound of trash directly to the landfill every day. A common misconception is that when trash arrives at a sorting center, it is looked at and picked through. This is quite the opposite, because in fact, once trash reaches the trash can of the consumer, it is never looked at again. Because of this, it is important to understand what it means to send something to the landfill. Landfills do not offer a sustainable solution to our future. landfills decompose because roughly 40% of trash is food waste. The decomposition releases lots of methane, which is a dangerous greenhouse gas and has much more damaging effect than that of the carbon emissions, such as in cars. Landfill also requires huge areas of land that permanently makes the earth unfertile. CQ researcher says the Fresh Kills landfill, the largest in the world on Staten Island, was closed in 2001, adding to New York City's trash disposal problems. While in operation, the 3,000-acre dump took in 14,000 tons of trash and released 2,650 tons of methane gas per day. Landfills can have some benefits. The Altamont Pass landfill actually generates a small amount of energy by harnessing the escaping gas. This, however, does not mean the most efficient method of disposal is landfill. Trash is not efficient. Only roughly a third of trash actually needs to be thrown in the landfill. It is necessary for global citizens to better understand what goes where in terms of sorting waste. Recycling saves energy and resources, making it more efficient than throwing everything away. The only solution to the problem is education of the public about the value in sorting and the differences between trash, recycling, and compost.
Look out! This truck has 23 tons of compostable material. Just imagine being stuck under a load like that. It's warm, moist, and smells pretty bad, but it's all for a good cause. Yard waste is the second largest component of our solid waste. Davis Street Transfer Station takes its waste and recycles over 500 tons a day. The station ensures the best efficiency by organizing these compostable materials into long, thin rows called windrows, and make sure to aerate and keep the compost moist to allow it to rot the best. Here you can see the shovel moving green waste around so it's organized in those rows. And the product goes to farms and gardens, growing everything from food to fill your growling stomach to pretty flowers to give to a special someone. And wood specifically can be used for other things as well. All clean and treated wood is accepted at the station, and guess where it goes? A power plant. The Tracy Beaker plant is a clean burn 169 megawatt power plant that makes electricity through wood waste or biomass. It can provide power for 150,000 households. But you say, it releases carbon dioxide. What can possibly be the advantage of this? Well, first, it doesn't release as much CO2 in the air since the same trees absorb CO2 earlier, therefore recycling atmospheric carbon, and releases much less pollutants than fossil fuel plants. And second, no sulfur is produced, and the plants don't contribute to acid rain. And finally, it keeps this valuable waste out of landfills where it just sits there taking up room. Much like this form of wood biopower, by researching, developing, and demanding new forms of energy production, even we, as normal citizens, can make a difference in a rapidly changing world. Obama's pushing for cap and trade in the United States. The Copenhagen meeting in December will hopefully create a new era of climate change policy for the entire world. And remember, there's always us. We, a new generation of young future scientists, public officials, lawyers, or maybe just voters, can make an effort to further new technologies that are more efficient and more sustainable.